roller coaster ride, come forever, change your life. Strap your seatbelt, nigga, and get ready for this flight. Yeah, on flights, on flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights, flight boss, bitch. In the truck box, I be working things that I be serving. Got them in the sky like they was surfing. Yeah, on flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights, flight boss, bitch. Take your girl behind the curtain, evil spirits lurking. She got the pretty bitches talking. Yeah. I'm the man in the streets. I'ma tell you now, I'm the man on the beach. If I ain't from this planet, I got planet like a plan. If I fell out the sky, I would never land on my feet, yeah. What you mean? You're dirty and I'm like, but shit is crystal clean. Just open up your eye, I hope you niggas see. This world a bigger ocean than you wanna see. Damn, where we fucking? Yeah, just thought I had a thought this shit was Hermes. I got voices in my ear sounding like Birdman. Look, you heard me, playboy when you living in the water, coming like a mermaid, yeah. Side shit. Yeah, you know you living like sometimes they ain't right. Disappearing out of plain sight, just to go get high. 8 flights, Archangel Uriel, oh God, I'ma bring light, nigga. On flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights, flight boss, bitch. In the trap house, I be working things that I be serving. Got them in the sky like they was surfing, yeah. On flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights, flight boss, bitch. Take your girl behind the curtain, evil spirits lurking, and she got the pretty bitches talking, yeah. The pilot man, you know the coolest scope, yeah. Might pull up in a fucking UFO. You niggas watching UFO. Don't give a fuck about who you know. No mistletoe, but she be missing me, yeah. When we together, now that she complete. Through all the drama, we be sipping tea. And then she gonna let me hit them cheeks. Your girl gon' shake that ass, yeah. Your girl gon' make that cash, yeah. Your girl gon' bring it back, yeah. You know I'm gon' make it last, yeah. I'm checking that she got some common sense, got some good hair, but she ain't really got no scholarship. But she get bread, and she ain't really with that partnership. Just cause she dance, her kids like grandma's or they father crib. Twinkle little stars lit, yeah. All of us is high, you might think we falling from the sky. Goddamn, what I say is all up in your mind. If you wanna see the seas and don't wanna up your eyes, yeah. You got no current, who is tossing on your vibe. The reason why you calling all the time, just a lost spirit. You ain't got no hobby or a job. Why I'm the best rapper out of all of them alive. And you know that on flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights, flight boss, bitch. In the trap house, I be working things that I be serving. Got them in the sky like they was surfing, yeah. On flights, that's on flights. I put that on flights, flight boss, bitch. Take your girl behind the curtains, evil spirits lurking, and she got the pretty bitches talking, yeah. I'm saying that we're gonna get into some recommendations and stuff like that, and circumstances and stuff like that, and all kind of transits and shifts happening in the goddamn sky. You know what I'm saying? Happening in the goddamn sky. So you can get used to. You can know what's going on, and like they always used to. Oh, smack monkey face. Now look, check this out. This reading right here ain't gonna, because we need some readings online that ain't about past. We need to talk about the present. We need to talk about the future. You know what I'm saying? Because you in a certain energy right now where you're supposed to be a new individual. So anything that look old and outdated and outweighed and stuff like that don't need to be in a new shift right now. So that's also what Venus retrograde is reminding you. And also, you know, going into late August and stuff like that, we getting ready to experience a Mercury retrograde. So it's just going to let you know if you made the right choice or decision based on the decisions that we made right now, to remind ourselves that we are a new individual. So we only need to be mixing and mingling with things that reflect us, things that match our energy, things that's in the same circumstance, things that deal with reciprocities and all these things of that nature. And if you're not around that kind of energy, for the most part, that energy is unuseful for you. Or if you're not around that energy, what I meant to say is because you need to start plant seeds in that area right now, so you can start putting yourself in that space that represents your new energy. And if you already been planting good seeds and things of that nature, like me and other spiritual individuals and stuff like that, then you already have a foresight of where you're going and things of that nature, as far as what you want to participate in, and you know what it actually look like when it comes to matching your energy, and you know what kind of decisions to make, and you know what kind of actions to do, so you can see correspondences and respondences to make that decision that you already had convinced.
and things of that nature. So you go ahead and keep utilizing the confirmations that God has given you in order to put yourself in the present, so you could go ahead and make that alchemy so your future could look much more like your present, aka you being this new individual right now, and your future could match that energy a lot more. Therefore, we're separating or severing or detaching from any old and outdated person, place, or thing that doesn't represent our current space and our future. And our current space is our new person. So if these previous people aren't in our life in the previous circumstance right now, or job, or circumstance, or living condition, then they're not meant to go to your future anyway. And this present current circumstance is supposed to be God's gift and present to let you know that's not what it looked like anyway, as far as your future. And that looked like it need to stay in the past, and it doesn't even match your present because it didn't even help you get to your present. And your present looked very bright to move to the future. So any going back or retrograde energy or past or X is you wasting your time into a circumstance that have nothing to do with the energy that match your new self right now. Thank you so much for the donation, Ton of Vision. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Good stuff. So it has to be live streams out here like this, because if you don't, you'll get triggered and think that all your positive energy and all your persevering and all your moving in the future is for the is only for the sole purpose of a past job, a past person, a past thing, a past place, and it's something you not doing right, or circumstances and things of that nature. Where, especially if you watch my channel, you on a mission for God. You ain't even got no business even being in that low vibrational energy in the first place to even have that kind of conduct. So right now we're all moving on to this new shift, so we can make sure that we know how to align ourselves with all these new eggs that the shadow government get ready to throw at the wall to see what sticks. And we want to make sure that even which ones stick or don't stick, we can produce some of the product off of that egg yolk. And that's the main goal that we need to be doing also. So this is paying attention to the present that can move to the future, that can match your energy that you have now, which doesn't have anything to do with the past. All right. Oh, wait, 12 minutes in. Yeah, I like to get into 12 minutes like circumstance, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all even gonna have to start, you're gonna start to feel the energies of switching jobs, switching geographical locations, or switching the things that you do within your geographical location or your job. A lot of y'all gonna find yourself, not wanting jumping into new relationships and not wanting to work on a current relationship that you're in at the moment, because you're not maybe necessarily seeing it match your energy. Or you might be and it might not necessarily even be this, but previous people may come up during this particular time, and you may just go ahead and disassociate yourself completely and things of that nature, because it'll be basically going backwards. And the mission that we've been going through and everything that we've been experiencing for the past 3 years and things of that nature, you don't really got no time to be looking back. So for the most part, you need to go ahead and, if you are kind of like introverted or something like that, or naive or passive, you need to start gaining comfortability in uncomfortable scenarios, so you can start speeding up the process of this new scenario that we are all in, and you can start to be seen as this new individual that you are. So when the retrograde do start to come up, right, and these energies start to flare, for the most part, you would be placed into the situation where any past person, place, or thing be presented to you, you will appear to be the new individual. Whether you still look the same, or you in the same living condition, or however the case may be, your vibe would be different, and your manifestation and materializing would be different. And we are able to see things in others that we are not able to see in ourselves. So you may even develop a lot more animosity energy that's coming out of nowhere from these individuals also, and you ain't even put 2 steps into where that light that they see inside of you is even manifested yet. So don't even let those early fart clouds distract you and take you off course, because you might got the light and you're in this energy now, but let's say you're still in the same situation, you haven't done nothing about it yet, but your spirits is different. Your spirit is in a different space, developing different mentalities that's manifesting in the same circumstance, to have a person look at you like the same still. And here's the thing, you could be putting a lot of energy work in that positive space, but you will still have people, places, and things around you to remind you, and you'll be able to look around and justify whatever they reminded you, as far as bringing you back down in their level, your mental state, your angelic, back to their demonic way of being in the spaces that they like to be in, developing those demonic forms as gas and liquids into the solid form and things of that nature. And based upon you looking at your situation like, yeah, I ain't manifesting, I ain't getting likes, I ain't doing this, for the most part, you'll manifest more energies into thinking that's justified, and at the end of the day, you're just becoming more like them. So for the most part, you need to go ahead and start just planning out the energy, regardless of the solid form being manifested first, and put more energy work, seconds, minutes, and hours in that gas and liquid. Jump into those ideas, that gas. Start to develop all kind of thoughts and feelings about these things that you feel. So you have constant dissonance in God's way, regardless of how the solid world look at the moment from what you previously manifested for it to be that way. And as long as you do shadow work and be aware that you're doing that, then for the most part, you're taking self-accountability and you're doing enough shadow work to know the amount of percentage level that you added to situations for you to be in that situation in the first place. So you don't manifest too many situations of playing out being victim or playing out as somebody else's fault. Even if they added more percentage level to the circumstance that it could be justified, especially when you break it down to family, friends, and co-workers, they can agree with you, but you still allowed the situation to happen. So regardless of the amount of percentage level, even if it's a very small one that you added, you still got to take self-accountability for that so you don't produce the same results in other situations that don't even deal with the same people, places, and things. Thank you so much for the donation, Hector. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let me finish this. So you want to make sure that you in that certain, y'all know we gotta break down spiritual preaching before we get into anything. So your mind can be in the right place. So you don't necessarily have to say, I claim it. You're claiming it is actually just having a thought form that you can agree with and holding on to that, regardless of how that gas and liquid appear to be in a 1, 2, and 3rd dimension at the moment. You're able to hold on to that gas and liquid just long enough that it could transform into another solid, that you could jump out that previous solid or current solid that you in, that you no longer like as a living condition, circumstance, or a relationship or a job, and jump right into that new solid that you was making as a mechanism when you were stuck in that previous or that current one for the second. But you didn't allow the people, places, and things in that solid affect that gas and solid to make another, that gas and liquid to make another solid in another area. You didn't allow the people, places, and things in that current or previous solid. You didn't allow them to reflangle your gas and liquid to make another solid. See, because that's what people do. Thank you so much for the donation, Soul Star. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Soon as a spirit, you get into another space, start producing other gases, other ideas, then all these thoughts and feelings that you want to influence others or you feel influenced by. You got this new energy, this new glow about you that you walking around wearing it on your spirit. And it's just the first body, your light form and stuff like that. And then a person start feeling uncomfortable because they start to, that's that light that they see in you, that gas and liquid became the gas and liquid version of solid before it solidified as a physical situation. So that's what they see in you that you don't see in yourself yet, but your spirit should know that's what they seeing if you understand what I'm talking about right now. And now you know, anytime you in that space, that's why you develop those energies. Now you know, oh, it's because I'm in this space right now. So if I'm too excited in the space and I know I got low-hanging fruit spirits around me, let me harness my energy down a little bit so I don't make anybody uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because that's usually what it be. You really just got friends, family, co-workers, associates, they develop uncomfortability and it look like small percentage levels of intimidation a little bit. So it'll play out as them trying to like play with you a little bit. See how far they can go with you. See how many boundaries they can cross with you. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be 1 joke, 2 joke, 3 joke, 4 joke here. You know what I'm saying? It'll be bumping your shoulder, step on your shoe, start grabbing you in weird ways to hear. You know what I'm saying? And then once you start letting things accumulate too much, this person think they can say and do anything and you won't never catch no offense until you actually have to show the spirit, wait a minute, don't bring me down to your world. And if I come down to your world, I'm fighting fire with fire. And anything I do that look like something you would do, my version of it would be justified. Because you living out of order with the universe right now. You know what I'm saying? And that monkey person to get fired, not you, even if you was the aggressor. Everybody will make justifications for you. The manager will be thinking, yeah, this person should have, yeah, they've been here the past 10 years. They've been here. They've been talking smack to everybody. I'm glad somebody went upside their head. And then the other co-workers like, hey, about time. You see how fast you still got your job in that person. And you will never know until you was used as a vessel for God. You will never know how long the manager been waiting for an excuse to fire that person. Yeah, you never know. You was the anchor, but you can't be no timid spirit. And if you dealing with something and if you doing it for God, you can't be scared. You got to have faith, belief, and imagination because you get scared. You be like, oh, I might lose my job or something like that. If you got conviction and you know you're on the path for God and you know you got placed in that line of fire where you have to fight fire with fire, but you're still doing it for God, you better have all the faith and belief in the world. It don't matter what you do, all the way down and pulling the goddamn trigger. I guarantee your time will be less than anybody else's in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how the judge even judge it too. That's why it's always based on motive. Your motive is how they consider, do your heart weigh lighter than the feather or not? Based on motive, And think all the way down to, let's say you was getting attacked, but you was just protecting yourself. The motive on your side is your heart weighing lighter than the feather. So you won't go to jail, or if it's the law and based on your city and, you know, common practices and stuff like that they do in the city. Like if you got a common I forgot what they call it. But for the most part, you won't have a lot of time though. You know what I'm saying? They'll be lenient. They'll be lenient. But if you're doing something extremely out your nature, right, that's extremely out of order, and that's extreme, and whatever you did was weighing heavy on you for you to even do that extreme thing in the first place for retarded reasons that no lawyer can explain for you but you. You know what I'm saying? The only makes sense you can make out of it is my mama died when I was young and stuff, and I did that. You know, what is this, a pity story, or do you got an actual common sense intellectual reason why you did what you did that was still dumb and that wasn't intellectual itself? You know what I'm saying? Then you go to jail for 12 years. So then for the most part, boom, your heart ain't way lighter than the feather. That's what I'm saying. Now, we about to get into Flight Tarotcard, present, future, and what you may need to do or what you may need to look for when it comes into putting yourself into a situation where you're separating from the past and you're looking at your present and how you got there and what you're making up to be your future, because you are a new individual at the moment anyway. You see what I'm saying? So this is for all my Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and Mars. And we're going to go through all the Zodiac. We're going to be all night here. Thank you so much for the donation. Phoenix 369, this thing real shit. You said, I want to max out the energy suggestions. Dang, you got me right on the goddamn Flight Tarot card reader, but I got you. So, Lilith. So you might feel embarrassed when it comes to your status or what you're known for, how you seen, or when it comes to your business and career, to the point that sometimes you might not even express it at all and think that you might not have any worthwhile. So don't put yourself in that energy. But when it comes to Lilith, Lilith needs you to even experience that or feel or experience the feeling of embarrassment, because that's the area you're going to actually experience to actually come up with the idea of what your business and career should actually be, or how you actually want to be seen. So anytime we got a Lilith in a house, that house kind of wants us to, even if we're not actually going through an embarrassment through the eyes of another person because they got a different Lilith, it needs us to experience that in that area, because that's what transforms us, to give us the sufficient idea of how to go about that house. And since you got it in the 10th house, it's supposed to give you the right idea of how to go about how you want to be seen, not suggesting and being at the esoteric drawing board and throwing things against the wall and seeing how people react and testing it, this, there, and the third. Once you have true conviction of the Lilith being in the 10th house, now you know, all right, now I need to get myself out there so I can experience little forms of embarrassment when it comes to my business, entertainment, or how I'm seen, or my career, or my status. And therefore, those situations that may be successful or negative will allow you to adjust that experience and come up with the idea and be like, okay, I got it. This is how I want to be seen. This is what my career about to be. This is about to be my status. And you ain't even gonna have nothing to be embarrassed about anymore, because that's just really the universe putting you through the test of the embarrassment and not to be embarrassed by that energy. Now you ain't got to bring that to the next life. All right, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and Mars. All right. But for the present, future, business and career, love matters to match your energy. So these are things you need to do. You need to give your grand support to a cup. You know what I'm saying? Give your grand support to an opportunity in some way, shape, or form. So give grand support to an opportunity. So whatever that is, whether you're looking at it towards business, career, or love matters, give your grand support to that opportunity. If you're in the present and you're trying to move to the future with your new self. Remember, this readings is not about payings. Uh-oh. So the way I may break it down for all signs may be a little different than what y'all hear from normal astrologers. It's going to be more about what you need to do other than what another person is coming or something like that. And when you do these energies and you focus it on your business, career, your love matters, then that be the more you're going to manifest more of the energies that match your space for your new self. All right, there we go. You also need to give your grand support to a pinnacle. So you need to give your grand support to an opportunity, a cup. That means give your grand support to an emotion or something like that, to have care about something, whether that's a career, business, love matter, or whatever like that. And you also need to give your grand support to a pentacle. So that means something practical, something stable, something dealing with material. So be about your business during this particular time too. So that might deals with a little bit of frustration, right? But both of these dealing with water and earth. So you need to give your grand support to some emotional connection that may have something to do with productivity, your job, your business, and it's kind of canceling out love matters a little bit. But you can have a love if you're you can have a love matter if it has something to do with y'all sharing a business or a family business or something like that, because this is telling you to give your emotional connection to a pinnacle, something that's dealing with the productivity, material, or something that's dealing with your career. Oh dang, royal flush. So you got something big coming to you too when it comes to business, career, or love matters. Thank you so much for the donation, Stellar of the New World. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff, ballers of the soul, real stuff. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Now, all my Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Mars. Right now, you guys are going to be in a situation where something big is getting ready to happen. Something's getting ready to take off. You know what I'm saying? And it's not negative, it's positive, because it's it's a fire wand and it's a water. So this is life. This bring life. You know what I'm saying? The sword and the club is just the pinnacle, but the spade, the sword, and the pinnacle, the earth, the club, they bring death to things. So both of these can be positive and negative, just based. I mean, both spectrums can be positive. But for the most part, when it comes to your business and career, your love matters, the more that you give your grand support to an opportunity that deals with emotional connection, that can be built in on productivity, work, stability, security, support, and safety, or material, maternal, and give your grand support to your creative gifts, your talents, and what you're getting attention for. So this is what you got to spend your time on. All your energy that you've been developing, as you being you, as far as your business, career, and your love matters, you need to direct grant all what you are and give your grand support to an emotional connection that's dealing with your productivity, work ethic, or your career, or something like that, that has something to do with your creativity, your passion, and how you get attention. And therefore, this is where you're going to find your love matter or your business and career, if you don't have one yet, when you use these energies. Now let's see what Zodiac sign dealing with, what Zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify. Calculator. 13 plus 13 plus 13. That's so 13 plus 13 plus 13, so that's 39. So you're dealing with you could be dealing with a Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Pisces energy. And I appreciate that once again, Stellar, from the New World, because it's still up there. I appreciate that. But yeah, you could be dealing with a Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Pisces energy itself in order to rectify what's going on. So get more into your creative gifts, your mutable water, be mutable connection when it comes to multiple ways of expressing your emotions or your feelings and things of that nature, or the dualities of the world, and be able to put it into the energy of you giving your grand support to that emotion of that productivity, dealing with creative energies in the Pisces way. And that's for my Aries. Now, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Venuses. So I want to get through these. God damn. It's telling me to shuffle again. With these sloppy y'all Taurus is indecisive about something. All right, now Tauruses. Now here's the thing: you're gonna be receiving grand support from some opposing energy, opposite energy, cutting out energy, or retrograde energy in some way, shape, or form. So this is a Queen of Swords. So you're gonna be receiving hate, receiving negative energy, receiving animosity, receiving resentment in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, these might be people that's trying to hold you back. They might see this little spark in you right now of you being your new self and don't want to go, don't want you to go nowhere to the future and things of that nature that don't look like they could be a part of. So just be aware of this and don't let any of these type of swords bring you back down to where they at so they can sit in some type of queen or rulership seat while you stay around them. And that's all they really wanted to accomplish. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Venuses. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now, and here's why you might get a lot of opposing communications towards you, because someone else is an opportunity. So you might got someone mad because you like someone else or something like that, or you might someone else is an opportunity, or someone else is a cup in some way, shape, or form when it's coming into your energies. So this is something that you need to look for. Someone else is an opportunity, and someone right now who's giving you a lot of extreme hate energy and things of that nature, maybe because of this. And this might be not things you're seeing. This may be someone else who got a cup for you. And this grand negative energy is people trying to blind you from that in some way, shape, or form. Or it could be in business. Someone else may be an opportunity, or another job may be an opportunity, and you get a lot of hate from this job in some way, shape, or form, or opposing energy to cut you out from this opportunity. So it might be people here trying to convince you why you need to stay and cut out from this opportunity that they may be unaware of, or they may be aware of, or something like that. Then you got the Eight of Hearts. So what you need to do right now, especially if you want to not be distracted into thinking about the past and stuff, because you know we got these Venus retrogrades and stuff like that. And even if you are a new person and stuff like that, a lot of fart clouds just might pop up on your mind. So spend a whole lot of time into this opportunities. And one of these opportunities is this other individual. And that's going to take you off this retrograde energy or fart clouds and stuff like that, or reproducing old and outdated thoughts and actions that don't get you nowhere, or productive energy. So for the most part, the hell with these individuals is going to be talking about. Take this opportunity of this other person or this other job and spend time in there, because it's going to take time. Don't be looking at it as expectations from the jump and then make a decision to fall back into what these people are saying or that job is saying. No, jump into this opportunity, but it's saying the opportunity takes patience. It takes time. You know, so it takes time to get to know people, or it takes time to get familiar with a job or something like that. So don't be scared to take time on something, because it's always going to be better than this energy. But you might not be aware of it due to the fact of it being a queen. So that means it's a large energy. So that means these are energies you may already be familiar with that can get you distracted from energies that you're not familiar with to make it seem like it's the wrong decision. So be careful of that too. Now let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with. What zodiac elemental energies need to utilize in order to rectify. 12 plus 2 plus 8, 22. So you could be dealing with a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Cancer energy itself in order to rectify things. So you might need to take more care, more nurture towards your love matters or your business and career when you're directing yourself into this new space, because you might not be, you might got this retrograde energy that might have you distracted to caring about other people, places, and things, and family members that might act like they need your help, but they don't necessarily. They can help themselves as long as you put them in that space and things of that nature, how you're helping yourself. But at the same time, you need to put more care into the right things during this particular time, as far as your new goals, who you are right now, and nurture that and create a household of that and things of that nature, and gain emotional intelligence there. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants of Mercury. Three of Spades, and you got your card. So for the most part, something in your environment, something in your surroundings, something you're familiar with is cutting you out, or you feel like you need to cut yourself out of your geographical location, or who you're involved with, job, or maybe things that you probably do online and stuff like that. Anything that's dealing with familiar energy, these are things that you feel like you might get separated or cut out from or disowned from by the individuals that's participating in this area with you in your familiar life. Pardon me. So what you need to do right now is you probably do need to cut out certain friends, cut yourself out from the environment. And you might need to start throwing swords around because, see, I keep talking about it like it's the past. No, this is about the present and the future. So this is what you need to do. You need to put yourself into a situation where you're cutting yourself out of something that you're familiar in, but it might be holding you down to a certain degree from a negative perspective. Probably some retrograde stuff. Ten of Diamonds. Now, in order for you to cut yourself out of, because this what you need to do, cut yourself out of an environment or group or friend or separate from a conversation that someone's trying to have. And in order to do that, you need to fall back, number 10, from a creative gift or a way you express yourself. So this may be one of these diamonds, the wand, the fire, how you get attention. One of these ways you are expressing yourself is probably what you need to change in order to cut yourself out from the environment and things of that nature, because you may be you may need to fall, because one of your ways of expressing yourself is attracting that frustration or that hate in some way, shape, or form. So you might need to start expressing yourself, fall back from a certain way you express yourself so you can ease your way out and cut yourself out of this environment in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? But based on you not falling back on somehow you're getting attention is actually bringing opposing or negative conversations towards you based on people you're familiar with or something like that. Somebody don't like the way you act and they're trying to make you stop acting like that or something like that. Something like that. Might be some retrograde stupid stuff. You need to tell that person retrograde don't affect me, I'm spiritual. Then you got, look, boom, Ace of Diamonds. Now, for the most part, you are the gift. So for the most part, yeah, you need to fall back from expressing yourself that's causing this hate and just go into one of these other wands to yourself. Express yourself to yourself. So this is dealing with separation in some way, shape, or form. There's something in your environment. You might got haters around you in some way, shape, or form based on how you express yourself. You might got something that you're getting attention by that you don't even care about that much, but they're hating on you in some way, shape, or form. And you might need to you might need to separate from them in general and give yourself some attention because you're the gift. And if you keep blending your energies with these swans and things of that nature, they're going to blend you in with them. And then for the most part, you're going to be falling back from other gifts that you have and things of that nature. And now you're not going to be multi-talented or multi-attention or manifesting to your new space right now. Let's see what Zodiac sign you're dealing with or what Zodiac elemental energies you need to deal with. You need to utilize in order to rectify it. For all my Geminis, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Mercury's. 3 + 1 + 10. 14. So you could be dealing with a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Leo energy itself in order to rectify it. So you might need to express yourself a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Set the stage for a feeling to be aroused. So you can see if it's something that need to be adjusted or it's just something that need to be appreciated and it ain't hurting your pride in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, you need to express separating from whatever this going on right now so you can be more of your individual self and you can fall back from expressing yourself around these negative individuals that put death onto this life in some way, shape, or form, which is the opposite energy. So yeah, you have to express that character, express that other character and things which is to yourself, and fall back from these other expressions, which is Leo energies, dealing with expressions, so you don't have to have these. So this conversation that's had is you separating and you not getting attached to fart clouds and stuff like that. And you can start getting attention for what you're supposed to, not getting all attention for all the wrong reasons. Okay, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. Ouch, pardon me. God damn, what y'all stuck? I can't even put the cards together. Yeah, some of y'all Cancer stuck. Some of y'all Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. Y'all stuck in something. Let me shuffle again. Y'all stuck in something. Was that a card that flipped? Oh, nah. Whether that's business, career, love, relationship, circumstance. Okay, now you need to fall back from so all you Cancers, y'all need to fall back from some type of gift, talent, or some type of way you expressing yourself. There's a way you express yourself that you could get attention for that you need to fall back from. So these cancel each other out. So this might be attention for the wrong reasons. You might get attention for being perceived as negative or something like that, whether in your business, career, or love matters. So you need to, so if you're trying to in the present, be in your new self to go to the future, you need to fall back from a certain way you expressing yourself right now. It's toxic. Ooh. And you all over the place too. So that corresponds to the stuck. You might be stuck because you're indecisive or all over the place about something. And that's why you stuck. The inability, let me see, make sure I ain't missing no cards. So that could be a reason why you stuck. The inability to make a decision about something, about a business, a career, love, matter, whatever the case may be. Boom, okay. Ace of Hearts. So you are an opportunity. You are an opportunity. But you have to, so, okay, you have to fall back from a way you are expressing yourself because you are an opportunity. Now, for the most part, to make that make sense, you might be an opportunist. So you got to fall back from the way you are expressing yourself in some way, shape, or form, because you can appear to be a cup taker or an opportunist in some way, shape, or form. And that might be one of these ways you are expressing yourself that you might need to fall back from. So you are an opportunity, but if you got to fall back from a way of you expressing yourself, then that cancel each other out. That means, and this is the water, this is the fire. So that means one of these ways you need to fall back, the way you express yourself, make you appear to look like an opportunist or a user. So a lot of times, and here's the thing with you Cancers, a lot of times that might not even necessarily be the case. It might be the mood you express that make others feel that way. So make sure you're not making a person try to feel you because you care more about the mood, and a person might got another alignment, and the way that they justify what you're caring about might have something to do with you looking like you're trying to use them, and then you have to overly express that it ain't about that, it's about this, and then a person might. So for the most part, so ascending into opportunities. If you're not an opportunist, as long as you fall back from a way of you expressing yourself. So if you fall back from this way you express yourself that may appear to look like an opportunist, you can ascend back into opportunities in some way, shape, or form. So you might be experiencing, now even though these are good cards, you have to do the good natures and things of that nature. So keep that in mind, because this still canceled each other out, and this came out first. So you have to fall back from a way you expressing yourself that might make you look like an opportunist, and once you do that, you can ascend into opportunities in some way, shape, or form. So don't hold yourself back based on your mood. Now let's see what Zodiac sign you're dealing with, or what Zodiac elemental energy you need to utilize in order to rectify this. So you could go to your new circumstance and be your new self as long as you get out this mood or get out the past or some retrograde stuff and find new people or find new circumstances. All right, let me see. 1 plus 10 plus 9, 20. So you could be dealing with a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Taurus energy itself in order to rectify. So you got to be more stable, more practical, more logical minded. You know what I'm saying? More earthly, more about material, maternal security, stability, support, and safety, and not so much about material like money, but support, security, and safety. Something that's rational, something that's practical in some way, shape, or form, not emotional. Or if it's going to be emotional, you're emotionally connecting to something that has practical things added to it, and security and stability in other areas. Thanks so much for the cash app. I can't see the name. Yeah. All right. Now, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. All right, all my Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. All right. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. Ooh. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. King of Diamonds. So you got the King of Wands. So you got to give your grand support to your gifts, talent, something you could get attention to for in some way, shape, or form. So if you're a new Leo right now, well, not if you're supposed to be, especially if you're watching my channel, right? Now, for the most part, you got to give your grand support to your creative gifts, your talents, and your passions, or what you can get attention for. The Wand is the King of Wands. So make sure you're distracted in that in some way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for the donation, JP. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you're giving your grand support. If it ain't got nothing to do with no creativity, no passion, no something that could obtain attention, and everybody don't want attention, but you can obtain attention from behind closed doors type circumstances too. This is what we call managers and stuff. They're not people in the front, but they still making money. So however the case you want to put yourself to get attention, to get a recommendation or recognition, however the case may be, give your grand support to your creative gifts and your talents, or how you obtain attention, and dive deep into that and get distracted into that. Once again, Eight of Diamonds. Spend a whole lot of time into it too. Spend a whole lot of time into giving your creative gifts, giving your grand support to gifts and talents and stuff like that. Spend a whole lot of time, regardless of how your 1, 2, and 3rd dimension look like. Seconds, minutes, and hours of energy work mean something, regardless of you not seeing it in a timely fashion that you think you want to see it. No, it means something, and you'll be getting small portions of confirmations if you know what to look for. If you're if you're really on God's mission, so spend a whole lot of time into gifts and talents, and also, your passions, or which you get attention for too. Spend a whole lot of time in that, and give your grand support, all your energy, blood, sweat, and tears to it. Then you got the Ten of Swords. And then you got to fall back from this is Ten of Spades. Yeah, so you got to fall back from some form of separation, some form of communication, some form of agreement. You got to fall back from any cutting out of something and things of that nature. So whatever you doing, as far as these two things, right? Don't cut yourself out of these. You know what I'm saying? Fall back from cutting yourself out of these and things of that nature, and fall back from any discussions or conversations that can also, you know what I'm saying? So it's also even dealing with retrograde energies. Fall back out. Let me warn you. It is good. Fall back from any retrograde energies in some way, shape, or form. Don't fall back from any form of communication or anything of that nature. And spend time into your creative gifts and passions, and give all your blood, sweat, and tears in that. And that's how you're going to find what match your energy as far as your business and career, or your love matters, if you don't have one at the moment, or if you planted good seeds and you already see what that look like. That's how you're going to get it. Fall back from any conversations that cut you out, anything that wasn't reciprocation or whatever like that. Spend hella time into what you already doing on God's mission, and therefore give all your blood, sweat, and tears to that. Now let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with, or what zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify. Okay, 13 plus 8 plus 10, 31. So you could be dealing with a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Cancer energy itself in order to rectify this. So you might need to nurture your creative passions, gifts, and how you get attention. You got to build a home for it. Give all your blood, sweat, and tears, and things of that nature. Make your whole home, or your whole comfort zone, have something to do with your creative gifts and talents. And if you're not around anything that has any representation of that, even if you're in the home, then it's going to manifest into lacking the energy that you need to produce for you to get into this new space. So always put yourself into an energy where you're creating a home or a comfort zone around your creative gifts, passions, that you can feel comfortable with putting all your emotions into that gift or talent, or whatever you give your attention to, or whatever like that. And that's how that grows. Now, for all my Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Mercury's. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Mercury. 10 of Clubs, 10 of Pentacles. So you got to fall back from something you've been stressing yourself out about. Maybe a bill, some money, a job, some productivity, some royalty, some expectation of support, security in some way, whether from a person or not. Maybe an object, maybe a check. I don't know, but you got to fall back. And it may not got nothing to do with material. The security, stability, support, and safety. Whatever this comfort zone you've been stuck in has been holding you back too. But you've been looking at it like, if I let it go, I don't know where I'll be. You need to fall back from something. Some pinnacle energy. Thank you so much for the donation, Phoenix Fire. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You got to fall back from some type of, you're making things harder than what it actually is. You're putting more on your plate than you necessarily need to. That's what this means. You're making worries. You're making things that you have to do in a routine that you may not necessarily have to. You know what I'm saying? Basically, in a nutshell, figure out the concept of working smarter, not harder. That's what you need to do right now. You need to not care about money so much. You need to care about what ability you got and what you have little to your access at the moment, and try to make something out of that. And then that's when money will come. But if you waiting around needing money to get something to do what you think you're going to do, you're going to set yourself back, and whatever you're doing ain't going to work. God wants you to figure out something that you already got that you're looking at like you disappreciating it or something like that. You need to make that, put energy in that inanimate object or that person, place, or thing, and make that look like it worked, even if in the external world it ain't the material or anything that. And then that's when God can see, okay, if you can handle something little, then I can get you something big. If you can't even deal with the little stuff I'm gonna give you something big. All right, boom. Now you got the King of Diamonds. So you got to give your grand support. This is all my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and Mercury. You got to give your grand support to your creative gift, your talent, your passion, something you could get attention for. So you got to fall back from a frustration based on you thinking you lack some security, support, money, material, or something like that. And the message, basically everything I was just breaking down, goes all into this card. You got to start giving your blood, sweat, and tears to what you got in front of you, your gift and talent, how you get attention. Stop caring about what you don't got to get this, where this itself gets this. And you can fall back from frustration. So you got to fall. So in order to fall back from the frustration, you got to do this. Start expressing your gifts. You can give it all your blood, sweat, and tears. Give your grand support to your gifts, your talents, how you're seen, regardless of this being first. Then this will come, and then you will be able to fall back from that frustration, instead of you being in this frustration and me having to tell you, fall back from this frustration. You see what I'm saying? So that's the route to go about it. You know, you're doing the underlying stories. All right, now you keep paying attention to a whole bunch of things that cut you out. You paying too much attention to some opposite energy, whether it's toxic. The energy you keep paying attention to is like cutting you out, cutting yourself out of things or something like that. Or you like to pay attention to cutting people else out of things or whatever like that. I don't know. Well, if you're a new person trying to go to a future and you get out these retrograde fart clouds, what you need to do is pay attention to cutting yourself out of stuff, or paying attention to not having a conversation in some way, shape, or form. And therefore, give your grand support to your creative gifts and talents, and that'll make you fall back from a frustration in some way, shape, or form. So stop paying attention to a conversation that needs to be had in some way if you're trying to go to the future. If you're stuck in a retrograde or something like that, you just going backwards, or you probably planting bad seeds. No, what you need to do is take this energy and transmute it and cut something out that you're paying attention to in some way, shape, or form. And pay attention to not having a conversation in some way, shape, or form. And therefore, pay more attention to giving your blood, sweat, and tears to your way of expressing yourself to maintain attention. And you'll be able to fall back from a frustration or whatever you frustrated about that you claim you need to keep paying attention to have a conversation. All right, now look. Let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with, or what zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify. 13 plus 10 plus 6, 29. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Aquarius energy itself in order to rectify this. So you might need to be a little bit more sociable, a little bit more communicative, especially about your own standpoint or your own fixated ideas about things. They still have to be communicated because it's Aquarius. So you have to communicate your stance on something, your humanitarian energy, your ability to be a part of a community, sociable concept in some way, shape. Open your mouth, closed mouths don't get fed in some way, shape, or form. And what you're going to... And as far as you communicating with your community, that's going to be the new people, places, and things. You can find your love matters or your business and career. Instead of taking this energy and paying attention to some fart cloud stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't communicate with the past or nothing like that. Just communicate with the source of cutting yourself out of a situation so you can use this new Aquarius energy to be a part of a new community in some way, shape, or form. That all this energy that could fall back, because you get that it could be a part of your gifts and talents and things of that nature, and you could fall back from that frustration and feeling like all this is like things on your shoulders and now it's heavy and the world is on your shoulders, and therefore you have to feel like you got to talk yourself into something and cut yourself out of your creative gifts and talents and find yourself a job or something like that, where that could be cool too. But as long as it got more to do with your giving your blood, sweat, and tears to your creative gifts and talents and stuff like that, that itself will bleed into whatever the Aquarius energy of your, when you express your own individual thought that don't have anything to do with these, put you in. And that's where you'll find your love matters or your business and career. All right, let me take a little break. So this is a whole big no pass remix. No past jobs. No past conversations. Because, you know, a lot of y'all be having like family members and stuff like that. And they'll sit there and talk about the same thing over and over and over again. And just add a new color to the story. Saying like last time they didn't mention the sky, so this time they're gonna mention what kind of sky was that day. Was it raining? Or then the next time they tell the same story, they didn't mention if they stopped at the gas station or not yet. So the next time it's the same story. They just mention the sky and the gas station this time. Then next time you see them, they tell the same story. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't mention the last thing that they said in that situation. So the next time they tell you about the sky color, them stopping at the gas station, and then you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta tell them like, look, we can't have this conversation no more. Let's have more productive conversations. And if you never express that, you're going to always put yourself into a situation where you don't do the things you want to do every time this person around or every time you're on the phone with them and stuff like that. And you're going to build up this mentality of thinking you're doing the right thing by that. Like that don't got nothing to do with the universe or manifesting your stuff. And that's when you start thinking wrong. That's just you not being a strong spirit. Sometimes you got to be the vessel for God to show other spirits that's in the body that they may be unaware of. That person might have built their mind state in so much of a subconscious trait. They always run to that as a serotonin or something like that. And you might be the one that's the voice of reason that God can use as a vessel to show this person, stop having these conversations. Because little do you know, you ain't the only person they do that with. So you'll be able to wake them up in ways you ain't understanding, but you too scared and you ain't got faith and belief. So you get that weird jittery energy and all this my coworker. This is my friend. This is my family. And that's all it takes for you to go ahead and let them rock you to sleep every day. Because it's so small on a percentage level for you to think that is something you probably need to combat. But no, our spirits need to be more important. Not us externalizing ourselves, giving our pearls amongst swine. That's basically, that's another concept of giving your pearls amongst swine. You know this individual ain't about to be speaking good life and the stuff that you into if you're on God's mission. And you try to do your creative gifts every day and stuff like that and be happy if there's other people that's into the same thing you into, so y'all can start doing these things and manifesting even more and stuff like that. Like, you know, when you're around these people, places, and things like your co-workers, friends, associates, and you know where they mind that you know it'll never reach that peak of where you be at or other people you be comfortable with talking to. But yet, by them being close, you don't even look at it in that magnitude, and then you'll feel like it's negative to cut them off. It ain't about being negative. It's about doing things in a better way. It's up to you to be the powerful, more adult spirit. You're supposed to fly for yourself and others. You're supposed to develop the ability, witchcraft and wizardry, to come up with a way to do what you still want to do without making this person build percentage levels of animosity or resentment. You're supposed to that's how you're doing witchcraft for God. Because whatever thing you're doing it out of love. Because you know you don't want to hurt this person, but you also don't want to suffer in a bullshit either. So you came up with a magician way for God to get out of something other than just a rude negative person. You see what I'm saying? So that it's ways to do everything. Yeah, you just got to be wise as a spirit. Like me, as negative as I am, everybody I'm negative to, I'm talking about my real life, don't put me in the perspective of a negative person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to have a negative conversation with someone with positive outcomes. Like, for an example, what do I mean by that? Like, I'm able to have a cursing kind of conversation with my mother, but it be about positive stuff. See what I'm saying? Where before you can even have a conversation with anybody you know about, like, either if it's positive or negative, there's a lot of other restrictions there first. You know what I'm saying? Like freedom of what's on your mind, how you think somebody else would think. Like, it's a lot of clutters there. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's blockages too. You know what I'm saying? But when you just free as a person and you come at all light and you're coming in the form of God, it doesn't matter what it is, it's still positive. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, where you might think you could have two people having a positive conversation, but you might have one person that they don't curse because they get popped in the mouth or something like that, right? Then they just be listening to another group of people like from the hood, like me or something like that, probably talking to their parent or something like that, cursing and shit. And if they don't understand, before they even get through what kind of conversation is being had, they can't filter out the curses that's being said. And if they're not coming from that background, they'd be like, oh, they having a negative conversation. That's not a peaceful conversation. But we might be having the same kind of conversations. It's just we cursing and you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the donation. Oh, look, somebody got my look, another troll. Another troll. I don't even care about your donations today. Thank you so much for the donation, Vim Wadi. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Like, just retarded. Just went on Facebook and just slapped on a dumb last name and just retarded. People are retarded. Well, we're about to get to Libra through Pisces. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it ain't yeah, all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm one of them like esoteric flight teachers where it's not a preacher, so the collection plate is not a thing that we care about. You know what I'm saying? So we real spiritual in our holy church council as angels. You know, maybe Creflo Dollar would like to pass a collection bucket around the whole world, and it don't matter how it come and stuff like that. No, angels, when we preach in the heavenly council up there, down here, it just look like teaching. So it ain't got nothing to do with religion. And collection plates, we don't care about the actual plate and the money itself. We care more about the energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we look at everything like esoteric currency. All energy ain't good energy. You know what I'm saying? Any old smack monkey who be in need in their actual life and that's all they have online, they probably would jump online for 24 hours like, yeah, hey, I can get paid from people hating me and stuff like that, and dive into that mentality like it look good or something. Like, I just don't know how to do none of that. I don't care. God gave me too many abilities and benefits for me to not be distracted with that and be distracted with God already given me. So it's like I'm better with that. So anytime a human come with a fart cloud, I don't care if it's positive or negative. God rejected abandonment and validation issues from my spirit, soul, and experiences. Last time I had abandonment and validation issues was probably like 19 eons ago. That was a long time ago. Like, I'm so rooted in not that nowadays. It's like I don't even know how to care about that and act like I'm caring about it or pandering or whatever like that. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. So if that's the energy you in as a human and Archangel Uriel affect you in that manner, then just go through another fire hoop to donate to me. You know what I'm saying? Some way. You know what I'm saying? Now the Bible don't hate money. You know what I'm saying? Angels don't hate money. You just gotta come a little harder next time. 50,000 sound good. I said that sound good. You know, I said 60,000. We'd be at school already. You know, you can troll, you all stuff like that and still get blocked. But you know what I'm saying? You might be allowed to troll for like 3 sexes and stuff like that. 75,000. About 75,000 to troll Archangel Uriel. So I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? Or just won't be no trolling. You know, got to settle, lay in the bed that you gonna lay in. That's on you. That's on you. So you got to decide today. Decide today. All right, if I want to troll Archangel Uriel, I got to get about 10 jobs or something like that. Right now, it's about 100,000 feet or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be working on fake page and stuff for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. So you got up there ante. You know what I'm saying? You want to troll for 3 minutes? 50,000. You know what I'm saying? You want to troll for 10 minutes? 70,000. You know what I'm saying? You want to troll for 10 minutes? $1 million. Oh, so that. Oh, so or it get thin and very. It get very thin. It get real thin. I said esoteric world. I'm telling you, get real thin. You got to raise your ante and stuff, up the ante. You know what I'm saying? Time be ticking. Time is ticking. Time about money. You know what I'm saying? Time is money. You might gotta go get like you know what I'm saying? What they call those independent jobs or something like that. Get paid up under the table, blue collar jobs and stuff like that. Go get a few tent service jobs. You know what I'm saying? Go dash doors for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then use whatever you got using right now. Stack up that good 150,000 and stuff like that. That gets you a good 7 minutes to troll before you get blocked. 7 minutes is good enough though. You could copy a whole bunch of stuff like that. Copy and paste for a whole long time. Every second is precious. God told me every second is precious. Every second is precious. Every second is precious. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Every second is precious. So you want to make sure you use that 7 minutes. That costs 150,000. Yeah, you use that 7 minutes to every maximum second. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start making a timer. I'm gonna have a timer in the back and stuff. We go. This is big business right now. We gonna get the business. You know, this new television show, new business. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. We gonna get the business right now. You know what I'm saying? A new Jeopardy line, new Jeopardy Bob Barker flight. Hey, sound like a plan to me. Get to work. All right, let's check this out. Libra. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Venuses. Y'all almost stuck too. Who else had stuck energy? They was stuck. Y'all wasn't as stuck as them though. But go back to them. I forgot what sign that was. I think it was Leo or something, or Gemini. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Venuses. Something telling me to shuffle again. No, I ain't gonna count none of these. I was gonna say the 6. This did come out though, 6 of spades. So you're paying too much attention to something that cut you out. Or since this is about the present and the future, you might need to pay attention to cutting yourself out of something. Stop overthinking it. Yep, and this one just came out too. Cut out from this other person. So whatever, Libras, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Venuses, this other person is toxic. This other person is like you sleeping with, it's like the energy like you sleeping with the enemy. This is sleeping with the enemy energy, where they could even look like a person that's actually you think ain't doing nothing wrong, but they energy itself is creating a stench for you, where it's just like, all right, what's the best way can I explain this? You ever been in a situation where it's like you was in a relationship, or let's say you just got out of high school or something like that, so you got people taking care of you, or if you're in a relationship, you got bills with the person or whatever like that. So in that case, your situation, ain't nothing wrong with your situation, but the situation itself block you from other opportunities because of that obligation. It's like that. It's like you're connected with someone that just being connected with them, you can't do something else, or you can't go through another door. See what I'm saying? It might be a situation where you can have a kid or something like that with someone, and you can't get that job because of that. Because whatever they do, you might be stuck with the kid more. So y'all circumstance and this other person makes it toxic, so you can't go get another job or something like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that, where it's not necessarily this person themselves bringing or being negative or being toxic, but just them and y'all relationship, however it is, family, relationship, partnership, is toxic. See what I'm saying? So it's like them themselves may not be a negative person, but you and them, the circumstance itself is toxic. See what I'm saying? Like, you ever had a best friend that can't stop going to jail or something like I'm not making dumb examples, but it's like stuff like that. That's your best friend, but they can't stop going to jail. So every dirt that they do in the streets fall on your back. You know what I'm saying? This person just went to jail for robbing somebody. Everybody get ready to beat you up because they just went to jail. You know what I'm saying? This person get out of jail. Do something to somebody else. You get caught lacking at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that. Like energy like that. Like this, you cool. Like, yeah, that's your dude. Yeah, that's your homegirl. But y'all relationship just itself is toxic. Stuff they bring with them. You know what I'm saying? You can have a baby daddy. Yeah, y'all fucking. But he might got baby mama drama and stuff like that. So you always got to fight. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily you and him fighting, but your circumstance is bringing toxicity to you through this person. See what I'm saying? So that's Libras. So sun, moon, and ascendants, and Venus. So yeah, you just watch game right now. If this person probably be retrograding you right now, you need to separate from them. Then this came out. Start paying attention to your cups, your opportunities. Right, one of these opportunities might be another person. And this is why you probably need to cut this person out, because you might need to start paying attention to your opportunities in some way, shape, or form. You're being distracted. So you're forced to cut yourself out of this person so you can do it the present and the future way, not the past and X and retrograde way. AKA, instead of you having this other person that's retrograding energies and stuff like that to force you to pay attention to your opportunities, like for me to tell you right now, you need to already be paying attention to your opportunities, and that already manifests subconsciously as you cutting this person out. You know what I'm saying? Because this person is distracting you from you and your cups. So you need to cut this person out. Pay more attention to your opportunities. Because you a new person right now. You ain't dealing with no retrograde stuff. Go ahead, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Jesus, y'all indecisive. And I ain't saying much for a Libra. There you go. Y'all indecisive about something. Now, you hit the jackpot when it comes to opportunities. Like I said, you hit the jackpot when it comes to opportunities. And that's what you need to be paying attention to. You just got some fart cloud around you, or some fart cloud around you distracting you and stuff like that. When you get rid of this distraction, right, you'll be able to see how much you worth. You don't know you hit the jackpot yet. You need to start paying attention to your opportunities so you can know you hit the jackpot or something. That's probably what this person probably trying to block from you, because they can see this in you more than you can yourself. So let's see what Zodiac sign you're dealing with, or what Zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify this. Okay. 2 plus 11 plus 6. 19. So you could be dealing with an Aries, sun, moon, or ascendant. Or you might need to utilize the Aries energy itself in order to rectify this. So you might need to be more of an individual, more passionate towards your creative gifts that you're trying to initiate and create new in this world to be looking desirable in some way, shape, or form. So you need to be a little bit more of an individual. You need to stop aligning yourself with this other individual, constantly trying to communicate fairness and balance in some way, shape, or form, and be more to yourself, more your opposite energy. Thank you so much for the donation, Cynical Dre. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Said, caught lacking at McDonald's reading Ratchet. You know, stuff. You know I'm a ratchet astrologer. The only ratchet astrologer. Shadow government be trying to hate on me on that. I was been supposed to have a show. The ratchet spiritual astrologer or something like that. I was supposed to be the new Mr. Cleo and stuff, and Mr. Frizzle and everything. It's just the stuff that come out my mouth is not a lot of stuff the shadow government want to hear. If I would have stayed just strictly astrology and 13s and all this stuff and the fucus and stuff like that, I would have been all with how I was in 2016. I would have been safe enough for their concept of directing the world and stuff. I ain't safe enough for it though. All right, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and Mars's. There's 2 cards. No underlying stories. I know y'all about to stop thinking so much too, though. Come on. Three of Spades. So, for the most part, you got to cut yourself out of something in your surroundings, something in your environment, something that you're familiar with. So, some type of conversation, you need to cut yourself out. Now, if you're dealing with retrograde energy, that just means somebody in your surroundings is trying to cut you out there. But no, this ain't that kind of reading. This is about present, future, and you being a new person. You need to cut yourself out of something in your environment, something in your surroundings, or something you're familiar with. So that could be a habit. You need to cut yourself out of an old and outdated thought form too. It's not being productive when it's being perceived through your actions and it's not materializing and manifesting in the way it needs to be. So you need to cut yourself out of something that you're familiar with or something you're surrounded or your friend circle because they could be distracting you also. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and Mars. You also need to fall back from some type of thing you're getting attention for, some type of gift, some type of passion, or it might not even be a gift because you got to fall back. So in this case, you might look at it like a gift, but it's a way you express yourself, a character you express yourself that you need to fall back from. And when you fall back from that, that'll allow you to cut yourself out of your environment. So this is a habit right here that you got. There's something you've been getting attention for that is outdated, but you might not be ready to let it go because you're getting attention for it. And it's in your surroundings, dealing with your friend circle or something like that. So there may be something that you're known for, something like that you might need to stop upholding. You could be a game banger or something like that. You no longer want to be affiliated. So you want to fall back from what you've been getting attention for because the gang probably like what you have done. You got a lot of attention for it. But for the most part, your environment is you need to cut yourself out from that in some way, shape, or form if you want to go ahead and get some good results when it comes to getting attention for other things. Fall back from what you're getting attention for. You got to fall back from something you're getting attention for so you can cut yourself out of what you're familiar with so you can put yourself into this new space that represents your new self for the future. Not no retrograde energy. Now, it fell on my navel. So you might got a solar plexus block chakra also. So start expressing yourself a lot more too. You might not be expressing yourself and expressing where you stand. Expressing that other thing that you could get attention for that's separate from this other thing that you're currently getting attention for that look like it may be opposite towards your love matters or your business and careers that you need to cut yourself out of. And then you got the Jack of Pentacles, Jack of Clubs. So for the most part, you hit the jackpot of frustration. So you might be dealing with material, money, or you might got money, but you might still be looking at it like your money funny. Like you might be having to think a little bit more sufficiently what you do with your actual money, even if you have a lot of money. But for the most part, it's putting you in a situation where you hit the jackpot of a pentacle, right? So this means that you probably got more problems, more money, or if you don't got no money, you got extreme frustration on how to accumulate it right now, and that's the main focus. So however the case may be, you're going to hit the jackpot of a pinnacle or a frustration or something that deal with stability, security, support, safety, and shelter. And you need to fall back and you need to care more about that and fall back from what you're getting attention to, what you're getting attention from, and so you can cut yourself out of your environment or what you're familiar with because these things need to be more important at the moment. You know what I'm saying? These things you've been getting attention for, you need to fall back from that because it ain't producing no money. And you need to, you're hitting the jackpot on all those energies right now. So you need to be worrying more about, you need to worry more about that. And therefore, when you put yourself more in that energy and separate from being goofy or just wanting to be seen a certain way and start to get serious and swallow your pride, that's where you're going to meet the person, place, or the thing that match your energy when it comes to your business and career and your love matters during this particular time. Being a new individual, not dealing with retrograde. Let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with or what zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify it. Okay, 3 plus 10 plus 11. 24. So you're dealing with a Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Virgo energy itself in order to rectify. So yeah, like I said, Virgo energy. That's 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. Got to get to work, or start analyzing, or being more productive, or start being more consistent in a routine and pattern, dealing with your responsibilities that could be more productive. So be more, because you hit the don't hit the jackpot. When you hit the jackpot, try not to be on the negative end of the pinnacle, because that can mean the lacking of something, dealing with stability, security, or safety. See what I'm saying? And they in here trying to strike. So start to build more consistency and things of that nature, and fall back from the goofy energies that's not productive. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Jupiters. This is going to be an underlying story. Okay, you got the 8 of Pentacles, so you need to spend more time with your practicality also. Make more sense out of something. Be more about your coin. Be more about your money. Be more about stability, security, support, safety, or in some way, shape, or form. Some earth energy. You need to spend a whole lot of time in that. Now, if this was dealing with retrograde or past, this would be saying, oh, you're going to be spending a whole lot of time in frustration or something like that. That might manifest as a person. Leave the retrograde behind. For the most part, you're going to be spending a whole lot of time in about your coin. And if you're on the low end, that means that you're frustrated and you need to develop some productivity to manifest that. If you're in a situation where you are already in a productive space and things of that nature, spend more time on worrying about it, but in the right way. You're worrying about a productive way of handling these coins or these pentacles or these frustrations or these circumstances or these situations or these things that make you feel secure, support, stability, or comfort in some way, shape, or form. No underlying stories. Well, I don't know why you keep trying. Look, this came out. Pay attention to what cuts you out, and fall back from frustration or pinnacle or making your work harder than what it actually is. That's this underlying story. But 2 of them came out. That's the only reason I had to do that. All right, there we go. Boom, you got the 5 of Hearts. So you need to emotionally connect with something. This is the 5 of Cups. You need to emotionally connect with something. Have some care in some way, shape, or form. Have some care into spending time about dealing with your productivity, security, stability, support, or safety, or shelter, so you don't develop this frustration. Remember, we're new people right now. So for the most part, you need to take emotional care or connection or a cup to something that got to do with what you've been frustrating about, or what you need to look at as far as a coin or productivity or consistency in some way, shape, or form, and get emotionally connected to that in some way, shape. So try to put all your feet in productivity, earth type things. Pour a cup on some earth. Go outside and water a tree tomorrow. Water a bush tomorrow, and put a lot of energy in that inanimate object like it's a person, and give it water, a good seed, give it good emotions, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Don't sit around expecting things to happen. Just let it go after that. And then when the thing come and happen, you will make the 2 and 2 in your mind how you manifested that. All right. Now, 3 of Pentacles. So something in your environment, in your surrounding, or something like that may frustrate you in some way, shape, or form, or you may need to be more productive or have some more consistency when it comes to something you're familiar with, something in your surroundings, something in your environment, in some way, shape, or form. So it don't develop in this negative retrograde energy as frustration in some way, shape, or form, or if you planted bad seeds. So there's something in your environment that you need to, or your surroundings or the things you're familiar with that you need to ground, make more stable, make more practical, make more secure, make more comfort, and put all that emotional cup and opportunity into spending a whole lot of time into building that in some way, shape, or form. So this is like building a structure, building a home, building a concept, building a community, building a construct, building a way of going about something in some way, shape, or form, and make that more of your importance. So your coins could be all right, or you can build some potential that it can look like whatever that you're doing can produce that. And when you put more energy into that area and things of that nature, that's when you will find people, places, and things that match your business and career, or match your energy when it comes into your love interest. Now, let's see what Zodiac sign you dealing with, or what Zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify this. 8 plus 5 plus 3, 16. So you could be dealing with a Libra. So thank you so much for the same individual. So for the most part, think he's dealing with 16. So you could be dealing with a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, and or you might need to utilize the Libra energy itself in order to rectify what you got going on. So for the most part, you might need to initiate some form of communication, relations, or balance, or fairness, or some type of situation that there could be an even play on a seesaw, or reciprocation in some attribute that could be catered towards. Whatever that could be catered towards your coins or whatever like that. So there's a balance, there's a fairness, or there's a communication, or there's something that you can actually do that has reciprocation from your part behind it that can manifest into productivity or this earth quality or whatever like that. Or you might be dealing with a leak. All right, now Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and Saturn's. This came out first. So for the most part, now you got the King of Spades. So for the most part, here's the thing: it's the King of Swords. You need to give your grand support to cutting yourself out of something, communicating to that deals with separation. Because like I said, it's not about the past or whatever like that. So we will talk about in the past. This means give your grand support to some form of reconciliation or something like that. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No swords energies is going back to the past on this one. This right here is about giving your grand support to some sword, cutting yourself out of something and letting it know you cut out from it, whether it's a person, place, or thing, or a circumstance in some magnitude. Make sure the energy behind it look like you gave your blood, sweat, and tears to that thought before the word came out. You know what I'm saying? So put yourself in that aspect. Give your grand support to separate from something. I don't care how hard it is. You might be in jail right now and a lot of people bothering you, but you probably got like a week or something left. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't care how hard it is. Give your grand support to separating from all the funk. Give your grand support to the energy of separating yourself. Not being a part of stuff. And then in your environment or your surroundings, there's going to be an opportunity. So if you give your grand support to cutting yourself out, there's going to be an opportunity in your environment, in your surroundings, a cup in some way, shape, or form, dealing with something that you're familiar with. So you might be distracted if you don't give your grand support of cutting yourself out. Give your blood, sweat, and tears to force yourself out of something so you can see these new opportunities within your environment. You might not be able to see these opportunities in your environment because the dark card came out first. But if we was talking about it like the past, we would go down that line of reasoning. But we trying to talk about the future and you being a new person in the present. So yeah, give your grand support to cutting whatever that's out, this retrograde energy or whatever the case may be, and then take yourself so you can see these new opportunities or these cups within your environment or your surroundings. So keep that in mind also. Thank you so much for the donation, Triple T. I appreciate that. Seven of Hearts. So for the most part, now with this is Seven of Cups. So with this energy right here, this is going to be a inbox or a message or communication or an email or something like that, or something you're going to be privy to as far as a conversation or a song, few lyrics you hear, something like that, that confirm a cup or opportunity, give you an idea to have an opportunity, right? And this opportunity is going to be directed towards your environment and dealing with things that you're familiar with already. But you may not even be able to open up this inbox or be aware of this message, however form it come, for you to see this opportunity in your environment if you don't give your blood, sweat, and tears of cutting yourself out of a person, place, or thing circumstance. So as long as you do this first, you're going to experience life and water and cups. You know what I'm saying? 10 cups. But for the most part, if you don't cut yourself out of this energy, then you're going to be dealing with some retrograde energy in some way, shape, or form. Then you're going to be hearing a story like this. And this person is in your that you need to give them a cup and opportunity in some way, shape, or form. And then after this conversation, happily ever after, y'all going to be married. No, we ain't talking about all that. You know what I'm saying? We talk about cut out of something. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, you're going to see this opportunity in your environment. And in your environment or dealing with things you're familiar with, this might be your phone or your tablet or your computer. And when you open up that, go into your inboxes or your messages or start to be aware of things that you watch and be sensitive to the senses. And then you're going to be able to develop an opportunity that can manifest into you being into the space of people, places, and things that match your energy when it comes to business and career or love matters. Now, let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with or zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify this. 13 plus 3 plus 7, 23. So you could be dealing with a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Leo energy itself in order to rectify what's going on. So you got to be a little bit more expressive right now and things of that nature. Yeah, be a little bit more expressive and set the stage. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're hurting other people's pride, because you got to cut yourself out of this, out of that energy in some way, shape, or form. And therefore, you going to start to see the opportunities in your environment that start to that allows you to open up a message or see something that you could develop an opportunity to receive attention and get the stage and put the spotlight on you as far as whatever your creative gifts and talents is or whatever your love interest is and things of that nature due to the fact of having Leo be the outcome. Aquarius is Sun, Moon, and Ascendants and Saturn. That was just Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants and Saturn. Now this is Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants and Saturn. Queen of Pentacles. So you about to be receiving a amount of frustration or some way, shape, or form. Well, no, this ain't no retrograde energy. You gonna be focus on your coins, your pinnacle, your stability, your securities, your support, your safety, and things of that nature. So don't get lost thinking that you need previous support or circumstances and situations that didn't help you get to where you at now. Look at this into the, even if it's a negative card. I know it's a lot of extreme retrogrades going on right now. So these cards still be acting funny right now. Once again, for your sign too. But for the most part here, I'm trying to reflangle your mind. So you claiming real good things. Now here's the thing, Queen of Clubs, right? So you're going to be receiving frustration. But even if you got money, don't allow it to make you look at it like it's negative. And if you don't got money, don't allow it to look at it like that's the situation at hand. No, this means you're going to be receiving grand support of that fart cloud energy that make you pay attention to those things. But you could direct that energy into something productive, something earth-like, something that you want to build. Capricorn, that you want to stack and be stable in as security. Taurus, and make sure you perfect it and look at all the surroundings and make sure everything is sealed so it could be productive and it could look like it could be played as a routine and pattern. Virgo. So for the most part, these are the energies that you want to actually participate in when it comes to what you're getting ready to receive, as far as that energy of making you feel like you may not have the necessary earth elements in your life. And that may not necessarily be the case, because let's say if you're a person who do got a lot of earth elements, even money, right? This receiving energy might be a fart cloud that make you feel like you have to do something with that and that you don't necessarily have to do and stuff like that. So be wise and be smart right now, either end that you want. Yep, in your environment. 3 of Spades. So it's something in your surroundings or in your environment in some way, shape, or form that you need to cut yourself out of, right? Because this is what you're going to be receiving frustration from. You're receiving frustration to make you feel like you have to look at your practicality or your material or your maternal. No matter the spectrum, positive or negative that you on. Even if it's positive, you might feel like you have to do something with these things. But the only reason you feel like that is because there's something in your environment, right, that you've been separated or cut out from, or is unbalanced, and there's a conversation that needs to be had in some way, shape, or form, right? So what you need to do is cut yourself out of your environment, or with your, this is the person that's making you look at your coins, or security, or even making you broke, or even probably helping you get money, but they're bad, however the case may be. So there may be something in your environment you need to cut yourself out of in some way, shape, or form. So when you start to receive these frustrations, you start to realize it's one of these things that's in your environment that you need to cut out. Three of Hearts. And then when you're able to do that, you're able to see a cup. You're able to see an opportunity within that environment. So this is the sixth energy. So as long as you cutting yourself out of this environment, or this friend, or this familiarity, or whatever like that, or this familiar habit that you got, right? And as long as you cut yourself out of that and start to receive the energies of feeling like you have to be more productive and stuff like that, right? Then you'll start to see that this original state, you don't need to be that frustrated about it, because there's actually are opportunities in your environment. You just have to put yourself into a situation where you're cutting yourself out of things in your environment. So when you start to receive what you think you lack, or what you think you have to pay for, or think you have to do in order to sustain yourself, you will see that there's better opportunities in your environment to go about that, with cups of water, or connection in some way, or reciprocation from others. Thank you so much for because it's the water. Thank you so much for the donation, Eli. Nope, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Stuff. So let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with, or what zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify this. Okay. 3 plus 12 plus 3, 18. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or you might need to utilize the Sagittarius energy itself in order to rectify this. So you might need to travel internally or externally. Traveling internally, you might need to think more broadly. You might be thinking very small, and that might be blocking you from having the intelligence to do something better when it comes to your energy of finding something that match a person, place, or thing that match your business or career or your love matters for your new self. Or you might need to travel externally. You might need to actually travel. Your geographical location might not necessarily be respecting your energy. You know what I'm saying? Or it might not match it in some way, shape, or form. So it might not necessarily matter what you do. You know what I'm saying? You're just not in a geographical location that matches. So you're just going to be wasting time until you go connect with someone, or, you know what I'm saying, go get a long distance relationship or something like that, go or meet somebody, or meet some friends, or go join things, or go audition or something like that, or go match, or go in these geographical locations, or any way how you got to do it in order to match your energy so you can persevere and learn and have experiences. All right, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Jupiters. All right, let's get it. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, and Jupiters. Okay, you need to give your grand support to cutting something out. Give your blood, sweat, and tears to some type of sword. Whether you got to X yourself out of something, curse somebody out, or like, because we on to the future right now. This ain't no past type things of that nature. This was the past. This would mean give your grand support to a conversation. No, give your grand support to no conversation right now. We're going to our new selves, and we're going to the future right now. So for the most part, give your grand support to, or your blood, sweat, and tears to separate from something, cutting out of something. In some way, if there's something in your life you need to cut out right now, and give your grand support and all your frustration and passion to that energy, so people around you also can see that that's what you care about. You care about cutting yourself out of something in some way, shape, or form. Now you can do it in pieces. You can do it in peaceful manners. That's why it's a sword. That's why it's a spade. Come up with an intellectual way of saying it. But for the most part, you know you have to give your grand support to cutting out of something. No conversation. That's dealing with retrograde. Then you got to a club. So for the most part, to a club, that means another person is frustrating in some way, shape, or form. So someone else make you worry about your pinnacle, or earth, or stability, or security, or someone else might got issues with earth, security, stability, or someone else may make you frustrated in some way, shape, or form, and this may be the individual you need to cut yourself out of. You know what I'm saying? Cut out no conversation with this other individual that got money problems, or might be broke, or might be making you broke, or might be making you think about your bills, or whatever like that. Whoever this other person is, they're making you broke. or they're making you think about your money or your security or your stability or your support in some way, shape, or form. So y'all need to be y'all might got negative people around y'all in y'all real life in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, y'all gotta do some cutting out. Y'all gotta do some cutting out in some way, shape, or form. And this other individual is making you think about your money or your coins in some way, shape, or form. So keep that in mind. So y'all gotta start looking at y'all surroundings. Y'all might gotta get out of la la land. How y'all Pisces usually be. Cause y'all know how y'all be. Y'all will have ideas in y'all mind about people at work and the strangers and stuff like that and people online. No, this is about your real life. You know what I'm saying? Who smack monkey cousin is this? You know what I'm saying? Who was you just fucking? This is about that. You know what I'm saying? About that. Okay, then Jack of Diamonds. Now, for the most part, then with the Jack of Diamonds, you hit the jackpot of something you could get attention for, something you could be passionate about, something you could creative gift or whatever the case may be. Jack of Wands, right? Now, you hit the jackpot there, but it might be all for the wrong reasons because this other person is frustrating you in some way, shape, or form. So you hit the jackpot to get attention from another person that might frustrate you, that make you think about pinnacle energy, earth, money, material, and security, and this is probably what you need to cut yourself out of in some way, shape, or form. So it's like you hit the jackpot of attention, which could be good, but it came at the end of 2 negative cards. So you get the jackpot of some attention from another person that make you think about your money. Like I said, this might not even be an enemy. This could be like a friend, and this friend or associate or coworker or family member might probably be doing better than you. So this person make you think about your money and your coins in some way, shape, or form. So you getting attention from this person because this person probably looking down on you, or this person probably expects something from you. Like this probably your partner, but your partner probably in a space right now where they're paying for all the bills and stuff like that, and they're waiting for you to do something or help. So this other person got you thinking about pinnacle energy. How you going to gain stability, security, support, or safety, or help pay for the bills in some way, shape, or form. And this might be the person you might have to have that negative conversation with or cut yourself out of if you're not in that position in some way, shape, or form. Now, if this is your partner and y'all actually in the current situation, y'all both on the path or whatever like that, then this has to be reflangled. You have to start using your creative gifts and things of that nature so this person can see that's making you think about this pinnacle and stuff like that in order for this situation right here to cut out of the right circumstance that ain't got nothing to do with your partner if you are married at the moment. You see what I'm saying? So you might be having to give your grand support to actually communicating yourself if you in that aspect. So this other person you're communicating yourself with about practical things could be about the jackpot you just hit. Some new ability, creative gift, some potential you can have that y'all can build on and present. But for the most part, yeah, you got you in that situation. So you hit the jackpot of some attention, right? Of another individual that make you think about your practicality or something like that, or make you think you might need to think about your productivity and your money and your coins right now, and give your blood, sweat, and tears of cutting yourself out of something. So this can be the main thing on your mind. So this can play out as positive. You hitting the jackpot of some creative gift or talent that you can get attention for, that another person can filter through the pinnacle after you cut yourself out of certain circumstance or situation in some way, shape, or form. So this is like a swallowing your pride energy, where the moment you swallow your pride, you'll see doors open for you, however, whatever that means. All right, let's see what zodiac sign you're dealing with, or what zodiac elemental energies you need to utilize in order to rectify this. 13 plus 2 plus 11. 26. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Or you need to utilize the Scorpio energy in order to rectify this. So you might need to stay behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying, and in the shadow area, so you could plant the good seeds and don't express it until the seeds is grown in some way, shape, or form. You might need to self-evaluate, get out of certain desires and transform, and from ashes to ashes, from dust to rise again like a phoenix, and take more power and control over whatever circumstance that you're looking for, as far as going for your business and career or your love interest, into your new energy that you got going on right now. And add more passion, motivation, and desire and emotional connection to whatever person, place, or thing that is, or a group of people. That's all, folks. Let's see. I'm almost done with the astrology alchemy too. because I had to finish that before I do anything, and I had to reschedule all my car appointments. So for the most part, I'm dropping that in the morning before I drop the college courses, which I actually want to do those in person. Once I get the little classrooms, do the little classroom and pick my little dates and stuff like that, and reach out to all my people again and stuff like that, so we can start get these things going. And I could because I run my own show and I'm working with other people that run their own thing. So when I say I'm booked up, it's really on my time. Thanks so much for the donation, Letitia TV. Gracias. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. So I'm be dropping all the astrological magic alchemy you can utilize. So it ain't necessarily like a reading, which I'm still doing readings too, but these are more going to be like how to use your energies. If you already know about astrology a little bit, and just how to use it if you want things to go more in your favor. So the first courses I'm dropping is little quick rundowns of your sun and moon, and how to use your sun and moon and the planets that is ruled by in a sufficient manner directed towards your love matters or your business and career. Then after I drop all those, it's going to be every alignment, every sun and moon alignment, right? Then after that, right, once I get settled, because wherever I'm going to be, because what I do behind closed doors to get me situated, you know what I'm saying? So I can be on and off the road, right? Then I'm going to drop the houses and the house lord magic and things of that nature. Then after that, I'm going to drop every alignment magic, because even if you got a lot of debilitated alignments, if you the alchemist, you know how to transmute things. So it ain't what we do, is how we do it. So I'm just teaching you how to use your alignments, even the debilitated ones and stuff like that, so things could go more into your favor. So when I drop all those quick things and show people how to go about it, also that'll be just like the online courses and stuff like that. And in the meantime, that's me figuring out how I'm gonna go about doing the actual real mental pilot courses of how I'm gonna go about it when I'm doing that in person and stuff like that, and how I'm gonna travel and how I'm gonna do it and things of that nature when I plan that. And then when I plan that, that's when I put out the dates and stuff like that. And those will be the areas that I'm gonna be presenting some new stuff in the world. You know what I'm saying? That hopefully nobody try to take this idea. We all doing the same thing, but it ain't what we doing, it's how we do it. So I just like to construct things in my own kind of unique way. So however it's duplicated and someone could take it further somewhere down the line, I still produce off of it because I'm still the face of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Aries are here to do. You know what I'm saying? So I could start something and not even be into doing that anymore. Everybody who start doing that somewhere down the line, I still materialize off that though, even if I'm not doing it. So God, that's how God do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just do stuff for God. You know what I'm saying? So when you stay on that type of path, you get all the kind of confirmations that you necessarily need. So you don't necessarily have to will and nil on humanity and stuff like that, because the universe is always against you. So it ain't, you're supposed to put yourself in a situation where you're not allowing the universe to change you. You are actually changing the universe. And that's the only way you could become some form of inspiration. Because it takes other spirits to see a spirit changing something in order to even gain attention in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that. Now, when you're at your early stages of putting yourself in that perspective, it's all about developing an ability. Then once you develop that ability, you start to put it to the test. Then these little tests that you do every day will show you what you need to adjust or not, based upon the minor rejections, the minor successes, and things of that nature. Now you're going to know what kind of frame of thought to adjust your mind in to make it always more sufficient manner to manifest off of and things of that nature. Then once you get good at that energy, it's going to be like second nature, and it's something you enjoy to do. And once it becomes something you enjoy to do and you put so much energy in it, the shadow government will create a way to capitalize off of it. But you know, since you also lost with crumbs anyway, who don't want some crumbs? You know what I'm saying? 100,000 could be crumbs and stuff like that. So all you want to do is just play your part. But if it ain't got nothing to do with God, then you playing the universe part, and you letting the universe as a relationship be in charge of it and steer it and stuff like that. And if you let the relationship steer the relation, if you let the universe steer the relationship, then it'd be letting Jesus take the wheel. It'd be making you feel like you're responsible for stuff you ain't got no parts of, and putting more worldly pressures on you that you ain't got no business having, expectations putting on that you developed yourself based upon the universe making you feel like if you don't act like this ain't. And there's all kind of false moral systems that never go into the direction that you necessarily need to go in. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that you are in control and you are running the universe like you're in a relationship with it, and not allow it to run you. and every person, place, or thing in it need to be perceived as part of the universe. So any person, place, or thing that don't match your energy, you need to know that that's part of the universe. Any person, place, or thing that does match your energy, that's your soul tribe, that's your soul group. Y'all are separate from the universe, and y'all are all on a similar mission, being that one thing that's between God and the universe, and that's y'all. And you know, you need to be a vessel for God, and then when you participate with the universe, that's when y'all in a better position, and God give y'all confirmations on how to materialize and manifest from the universe without necessarily needing it, because the way you get it is in weird, miraculous ways. But you're not supposed to dive too deep into caring about how you're getting it. You just need to know that whatever you're doing is mysterious, and that's the way to do it. You see what I'm saying? So it don't go no further than that. Real stuff. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to keep that in mind. That's how you even break it down. All the way down to it could be so weird that you could be the first person online who get paid off trolls. Last time I checked, I thought you could troll for free. I never seen nobody willingly. You know what I'm saying? So like, some new shit, witchcraft. How about y'all get with the program? How about y'all know that what Uriel be talking about, he don't be lying? You know what I'm saying? How about that? How about stop hating on Uriel for a second? Just listen. How about that? Oh, but yeah, I forgot. I look just like y'all. I look like I'm from the same background as y'all. So that got to be dealt with first and argued about and turned into hater about first. Like, so the messenger is more important now than the message. You know what I'm saying? So the message be here in your face. God to be here in your face. God send his children down here to be here in your face and stuff like that. None of that matters. The message, none of the messages matter. The cartoon, you were supposed to hear certain other conversations, but you were so distracted in your bias. You only like that cartoon for the other stuff in it and stuff. So you missed the morality and stuff. All that passed. And then what comes more important is what you see in front of you, the messenger. So that makes you lost into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. That makes you low vibrational. That makes you rooted in the root chakra. The root chakra and the sacral chakra made the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. The solar plexus and the heart chakra made the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You know what I'm saying? And the crown chakra and the first eye chakra is how you can kind of be aware of the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, but develop that gas there. So life is very fast there, birth, life, and death. Once you develop an idea, you better hold on to it or it's gonna die. And you're gonna get writer's block and forget it. Like, dang, what did I say? Then spiritually, if depending on how your spirit moved your chakra that you got lost in to move your organ, that might have moved you into a different space. Even if you just moved your arm. As a spirit, you're gonna have to remember to go back into that space you was just in, so you could be aware of that gas again, that idea, so you can start adding thoughts and feelings on it, so you can cling on it, so it don't be vague and disappear again, and therefore it turn into solid, and you can remember it again. Because a lot of times that ought to be taken. You're always swimming. Always remember that. If you understand the world, that's what it is. For an example, a lot of y'all did what I'm getting ready to say, but since you don't understand the starting point in the correspondence, you don't know why you did it. Yet, I'm not teaching you nothing. Let me repeat. I'm only reminding you what you already know. You ever ran upstairs? So you jumped out of the space you was in so fast, right? Because you needed to get something upstairs. So before you developed a lot of the liquid, the thought and feeling off that gas, off that idea, you jumped in that space as a spirit before it was developed as a fluid, as a liquid, and then ran upstairs. Then when you ran upstairs, you forgot what you went upstairs for. Probably had a lot of other distractions too that made you do something first. Like you probably had to use the bathroom, didn't? So that a lot of stuff probably. So when you went upstairs, you probably. And a lot of people, just as soon as they go upstairs, they forget. Right? Now here's the thing. Sometimes it takes you. A lot of y'all did this. You couldn't remember until you went back downstairs. And then you remember what you had to go back upstairs for, or go back in the house for. Or, you see what I'm saying? What actually happened is, as a spirit, we manifest the physical face, the physical space, right? We make things not a vacuum no more. So everything in the physical world comes from the mental world. The mental world is the fluid, and then it comes from the idea, the gas. So all you did as a spirit was go back to the space you was in, where you developed that idea, that gas at. Then when you ran back downstairs, that was the space you was in when you developed that gas. Now, when you went back to that space spiritually, you are aware of that gas now. Because each of these forms play out in all of the forms too. Like gas, liquid, solid play out in the gas realm. Gas, liquid, solid play out in the in a liquid realm, and gas, liquid, solid play out in the solid realm. So it's percentage level and density levels, right? So how gas will look in the liquid realm is just less dense than a heavier density fluid. That's how we got waterfalls underneath the water. How a gas and a liquid look in the gas realm, liquid would just be a more fluid or a more accumulated portion of gas. So instead of mass, separate gas, it'd be masses, a collection of lightweight particles in one area. See what I'm saying? Like a cloud. So you went back to that space when you ran back downstairs or ran back outside. Then you synced that gas where you developed that idea. Then you was there long enough for that few seconds to develop enough accumulation of gas to turn into a fluid, a thought, and a feeling. And that was you being reminded, oh yeah, I remember what I was supposed to go upstairs for. Now it's into the solid. It's you solidified, you're convinced or you're constructed that you need to go upstairs, and you remember what you wanted to get now. See what I'm saying? So that's all you really did. It's about space, observer, observant, what's floating through space, what you are observing, the star, your mind, and what becomes the physical, the nature of it, the solid world. And it's always like that. So you're always swimming. So when you get misplaced, you could lose a lot of thoughts that you should have clinged on to that had energies and aspects of creativity in it. And anytime you lack creativity, it's because you too lost-minded sometimes. And there'd be a lot of thoughts that you had last week and even during that day that you let go, that if you would have harnessed that gas and added thoughts and feelings and turned it to a fluid, you would have seen the creative value in it and try to express it into the solid world for God to give you the confirmation of it. A lot of y'all be in so many different spaces, allowing the universe to change you. So you be letting the universe, the gas, liquid, and solid that other spirits is making, and outdated ones that the shadow government make more important, and you be allowing those to move your spirit around. Then when you be getting in all these different shapes and forms and stuff, you have the nerve to feel uncomfortable or feel like you have to do that. No, that's your fault. Nobody told you to let the universe change you. You change these things. You melt these metals. You use your fire, water, air, and earth to melt these esoteric metals and solids that they didn't constructed from their ideas, gas, that they made you influenced by, fluid, liquid, that you think you have to be stuck in and be frustrated about with those routines and jobs, solid. You can change it once you invert the energy, invert the alchemy. Ain't nobody doing nothing to you. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you. So you just need to let these energies go through you. Let me repeat. That's just like the universe. The universe ain't happening to you. You ain't no victim. It ain't happening for you. The world will revolve around you. And it's just happening through you. You need to be letting things happen and treating these thoughts and feelings like it's a bitch, because you know it ain't you. And if you think these are you too much, that's why you are affected by them spiritually. So you are affected by all these negative thoughts and feelings. You are affected by the influence, and you get trapped in these things, and it make you feel like a mental jail and shelter yourself with all the weird fart cloud peer pressures that the world give you, and you turn into an agent. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the donation. Go King. You know what I'm saying? So, you're ascendant, you personally like to come across as a balance or fair, or you like to communicate or talk a lot, or you like to share your space with others. But then when you share your space with others, the way you react or respond, sometimes you like to take charge of that space and be the most individual there. And sometimes you might create extreme vibes or intense vibes when you try to connect or communicate. So you like to have friendly debates or something. Sometimes you throw people off. You come across like you're friendly, but the type of stuff you like to be friendly about is Moon and Aries, which is opposite to your ascendant. And then you got a grand square. Not a grand one, but you probably got Cancer somewhere. But if you don't, you still experiencing that energy. And then your actions look like Aries, but they're squaring each other. So sometimes you throw people off because you're passionate about things that other people feel like you shouldn't be passionate about, because Aries deal with the feeling, and that's your moon. But Capricorn deal with the practicality, and that's your sun. So you might make people think that you're passionate about frivolous things or surface levels like things, or like to be seen like the boss all the time, or not. You don't want to emotionally connect individually on emotional level. You only want to connect emotionally, Aries, through the filtering system of practicality and not being seen as weak and stuff like that. And sometimes in your mind, you think that's the best way to go about things, but in other people's mind, you lose genuine connection, because you're either going to make people intimidated around you if you're doing good, or you're going to make people feel like you need to suffer if you're doing bad, even if they can help you. You know what I'm saying? And you need to swallow what you have said before, because you was acting like you was better than others. And even if you ain't, Sometimes you just got those square energies you got to learn how to deal with. That's how a person to see you, even if you ain't that. So as long as you construct that energy, you'll be okay. Okay. Well, we got 5 minutes left. Not 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. On. I'm saying real good spiritual talk. You know what I'm saying? I wish I just went live. Just talk. I'm gonna do that tomorrow after I get all my appointments out and stuff like that. Get my carpet gutted out and my whip and stuff like that. So I'll be bored, but I probably won't be. Yeah, I could go live. I ain't gonna have my car or nothing like that. So, but I want to take care of all the stuff I need to take care of because I'm serious about even the online school. I'm making an online school, but all that is building this new way and giving me the ability to create this new way of teaching in the world also, because I already created this new way of teaching. So now we need to take that, because we always got to have an example here of how to still make things real life, or the shadow government would just control y'all forever, all the way down to that stuff floating in the air, and they was making people not trust outside. And so, God always send vessels down here to remind y'all how life works, period. Life will never work with all of us being a machine. So we all got to have a blending. Now, these things can be used for goodness, but there's always got to be a balance. We can't be strictly on the polar shift of this. Pardon me. We got to learn how to blend this with reality, and real life is always going to be real life first. So I'm from the hood. I always like to make it simple. Master P used to go pack up a whole 1,000 CDs in the trunk and go city to city, state to state dolo and stuff like that. He wasn't dolo, but like Method Man, dolo. I moves dolo from state to state, right? Now, since we got online now, everybody think that you could just get online and make it, which is why we got a whole bunch of the people who take the online stuff and blend it in with the actual reality. These are people who still take off. So these are God using these people as vessels to show us that we can't forget reality. We just have to use the updated version and cherry pick how it can be used, but still use it for actually outside. So now that's for you to be the more spiritual wise one to come up with the new ability, like me. So now that'll help you understand this. So instead of us packing up and pressing up a whole bunch of CDs like Master P from city to state, right? We know CDs is outdated. So instead of us just purely getting online, we could use online and still mix it with real life. So we could get a whole bunch of business cards and then we could pack that up and still go state to state without the burden of all the CDs we had to press up, because we in a new age and we cherry picked. And instead of us passing out CDs, we passing business cards while still using the internet, because all the music is on all the websites that's going to be on the business card. So we blended in a new life with life we always supposed to do anyway. That's never going to change. Reality going outside. I don't know why y'all preachers wanted to stop that, because they said something was floating in the air. All y'all did was show God y'all didn't have no faith, and y'all can't be used as a vessel if we was to go through a scarier time. Go sit down somewhere. Take several. Matter of fact, your spirit can take multiple bodies. Take an auditorium worth of seats. But look, check this out. At the same time, this is just showing us how we still supposed to do it, and how we can persevere and speed up the process of anything that we're trying to do, because we're still doing it the right way. And if we need to transmute something that the shadow government put more energy in, we can know that we can still fight God's battle and transmute that, because God even like us to even do that, because God be like, oh, you even more talented. Not only can you do it for yourself, you can do it against their stuff and make yourself be the face of their stuff by transmuting the piping system and making their energy come to yours. And you know how to make your own too. So you know how to be a gold mine and a cobalt mine. Oh, you my first child I'm going to use. You the first one I'm going to use. Go get some other ones that's just like you. Please go do that. You see the shadow government going to get everybody else leading the blind to their system. Hey, how about be a sister for me? Go get everybody else just like you. Go ahead, go do that. But see, it get hard for that though, because it don't be the familiar energy of what people are already familiar with, of what it takes to be successful. So whether you the male or the female on the side that I'm on, that I'm explaining right now on God, see, this what God be like, you got to be strong, child, because God start to show you what God experienced. So you start to experience your own individual version of it. You start to see that it's harder for you to do what the shadow government is doing, because you're smaller in numbers. And every time you try to do it, you have people who run away from you or turn you into a hater and run to the shadow government to use them tactics against you and make you look like you the enemy and make it seem like you're supposed to suffer in some way. And this is God saying, stay strong, because whatever you are experiencing is because people before you who had your same energy did it in much more easier ways. So, you know, the more accumulation, the more solid realms, the more transmutation and frustration you got to melt and mute and transmute and transform. So the battle might be tougher for people to come across, or the battle might be person to put themselves in a position to make their own bed and lay on it. And we need to know the separation between who gonna be hellistic and demonic and who ain't, whether they make their own bed or they come around. But we need vessels down here that's strong enough, because that's the amount of percentage level and condensed the solid realm is at this moment. So you gotta come as flaming swords. You gotta melt metal, mentally speaking. So you gotta melt people's philosopher's stones that they have constructed and stuff like that. So angels almost got to make enemies down here. We have to, because it's the only way that when it's all said and done, we're going to know what's separate. And all the spirits that's supposed to be with God going to be there, and we already experiencing that physically right now. Everybody who planted good seeds, even if you was experiencing tire moments, we all was. If you stood strong and became your new self, these past 3 months, you've been seeing confirmation that you made the right decision and stuff like that. So you already on the right side of God. You just got to continue. You always could fall short. But just as much as transits change, your stuff could change from positive to negative, from negative to positive. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, how much you put in a certain energy, especially at negative, that's how much you got to reap what you sow too. So the sooner the better to get out of fartness. But if you want to stay in your ego and be a wash up under the current, you know, God can't help you, because you're too clinged on, stuck into how you think and feel, how you think things should be before you interact and things of that nature. You're not trying to change things based upon your individuality. You're trying to see things the way they are based upon how other people acted with other things, and before you present yourself, which leads to you not presenting yourself properly or not presenting yourself at all. So you can't be used as a vessel if you can't influence others in the world. That's the whole point. So your inability to influence others may lead you to the shadow government type circumstances of producing. But you're always going to get placed into a situation where you learn something that God still needs you to do. You might be in a situation where your creative gifts not taking off, so you might not got no passion. So you're like, all right, well, let me just go get a job or whatever like that. I guarantee once you work that job for 2 weeks, God gonna show you something that still leads you to the same mission. So you're gonna have to come to the decision. Is you going to use your job for God, or is you just going to get confused and not do God's mission and still have to be in your job and get even more frustrated? See what I'm saying? It never failed. God always going to point you to, even when you lose your path and lose your passion, whatever you have to do to get back into the regular world to feel comfortable, God going to show you through that. As soon as you get that job, you're going to figure out 15 things that's wrong with the world. And here you go, back on God's mission again. And if you don't, and then that's probably God showing you that, hey, this was what I needed you to find your mission, define your purpose, and I'm giving you a little benefit, because now you don't got to be so upset going at this job, because now you got somewhere where that money going to go. So now you got other things on your mind of why you're there, other than just being frustrated and being there every day and not having no tomorrow. Your tomorrow have a potential. So it's going to be days that you be extremely frustrated, but the outcome ain't going to be as bad as it is as a person who got an idle mind, because you know that you got things to take care of with that check. So that couple of thoughts will stop a couple of actions from you taking for you to actually persevere. And when God see you go through those situations, God probably will make sure you only there for 1 or 2 more checks, and then that one that you get paid for because you worked that week, because God didn't put you on the game that now you ain't got to work there no more. You in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. I've done it. I only had one job in my life. Bob Evans. See what I'm saying? I only had one job in my life, and I did exactly that. I be catching on early. I catch on early every time. I catch on early. I don't never miss no shift. I don't miss no shifts. I don't miss no shifts. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even work there that long. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. I don't miss no shifts. I'm like a hustler. Like, because I just think about abilities. I always think about abilities. Like, even at the job, what I was doing, I was making more money than the check. It's like I always found myself in situations where it was like I didn't need something. I always found myself in that type of situation, all the way to the point that I didn't need no license. Like, I was driving cars, everything, before they even thought of that. So when it came time to get those things, it'd be hard for me to focus on it if I'm already doing it. You know, it's like if I'm already doing it, like, and then I'm so smart, like, I don't deal with y'all type of issues like get pulled overs and stuff like that. I don't deal with stuff like that. Like, so it's like, it don't be no reason for me to do stuff. But then every now and then when God put me on a mission, there don't be nothing else to do but take what God gave me for this stuff now. So just lead me for teaching and lead me to have to do this stuff because now it's a purpose behind it. Or should I sit my ass down and don't give a damn about nothing? But now it's a purpose. So it's like, all right, yeah, okay, I got to travel now because I'm doing it for God. Okay, yeah, I got to do this now because I'm doing it for God. Okay, I got to look good now because I'm doing it for God. You know what I'm saying? And when I stop doing it for God, God will take it all away from me real fast. I experienced that before too. When you're a real spirit, you know what I'm saying? When you lose something, you know how to get it all over again. Because it's like it just strengthens your subconscious mind. And you don't have too many awarenesses of the can't energy. Like when you comfortable and you know how to do something, it don't matter if you lose it. If anything you're comfortable in, it's in your subconscious mind. So anytime you lack the energies of, oh, how I'm gonna do this again, or I can't do this, that develop into writer's block. That develops into a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need to. You'll become intelligent on how to not do something, or intelligent on how to be lazy, or like it's always your starting point of something. It's always your starting point of something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I ain't never even if I lost something, it wasn't a thought in my mind what I'm gonna do. The first floods of thoughts and feelings in my mind is, oh, all I gotta do is do this, that, and third, and I'll be right back there. Like it ain't never, I'll just lose something and what I'm gonna do. Then if that train of thought, that's gonna lead into an intelligent thought of what I'm gonna do again, and add other people who don't know what to do things, and then whatever I come to the conclusion to do will be a whole bunch of stuff that I probably didn't even have to do. Take it 10 steps backward just to get to the first start again. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. Whole bunch of mistakes and stuff and doing stuff out of weird lower chakra energies and stuff like that. But when you really get deep with God, the experience don't even be seen that way, and you be thinking about other things. And even if you do look at it like it was taken away again, you be looking at it through the lens of God. You be looking at it like this. All right, God, so what I'm supposed to see? So it's something I ain't seen, and that's how this happened right now. And if I figure out what I didn't see, make sure I see that this time and do the same thing, just see what I didn't see this time. And before you know it, that whole thought process, before you even got the blink, you got the whole thing again. Before you blinked, you got the whole thing again that you just lost. Like, yeah, everything again and more. Like before you even blinked. Like I did it 10,000 times. So I chalked it up to, you're not supposed to have resentment about nothing. That's what I chalked it up to. And then that led me into areas where I see people that's my peer group, like my age group, and people I came up with, where you probably could think it's justified, but if you a spiritual adult, you will know it's not. So like when you will see certain people arguing with their parents or arguing about things that they could do, like you could come, or stuff that they didn't have to lead their situation as a failure right now, you could look at it and be like, yeah, that is right and stuff. But when you get spiritually inclined, you're not even allowed to think that's right. You're not even allowed to use that as an excuse. You got to put yourself into a situation where you even think you older than everybody who raised you or something like that as a spirit. And you supposed to be like, oh, I'm supposed to teach them something that they ain't know. They ain't had the ability to even give that what I thought I was unfulfilled in my life. So I need to waste time more on showing them something and stuff like it's like that. Like you don't have resentment. You be ready to show how whatever you lacked was actually a fuel for you. And instead of you saying, oh, you did this, if you ain't did this, I wouldn't. You saying, oh, I'm glad this happened because I learned this. You know what I'm saying? And maybe this probably what you ain't do with grandma, aka your mother. And stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all have good spiritual conversations now. And you probably could have had the most negative parents or foster parents or something ever. But you becoming a spiritual adult first. You transmuted that relationship. And you woke them up. And I guarantee they feel like a child every time they're around you. But you be their best foster child or child or nephew or niece and stuff like that every time you come back around when y'all all adults. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. They ask you, do you want to play first? And all that good stuff at the family reunion. Other family members jealous, like, I was here first. Wasn't I in line first? Why she or why he asking them? No, forget them. It's because they played football. Or it's because they knew how to do hair or something. Nah. Stop making up stuff. You just don't got that good spirit that Uriel is putting into people for you. How do you have good rapport with your family? Regardless of y'all separations of religions and stuff like that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? You find a spiritual space of satisfaction. And when you get into that area, resentment not allowed there. Resentment almost like a demon. All of these are characters that old spirits created. As teamwork makes the dream work, so it'll be still floating around. New spirits be aware of them coming in as people's children, or becoming circumstances and energies that that's planned off, that you might be around these people and have to call them flunked out. Thank you so much for the donation, Myra. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. And it's all I appreciate that. And it's all kind of stuff you got to be aware of when you a strong spirit, though. But you here to change the circumstance. Don't let the situation change you. And the harder the situation appears to change, that is letting you know how much you reaping what you sow. But if you a spiritual warrior or warrior for God, you know what I'm saying, God or goddess for God, a little angel, angelette for God, then you supposed to take that battle. You know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to have faith, belief, and imagination that God is behind you on this. And what's in front of you is the universe. Because the only thing standing between the universe and God is you. So God is behind you, giving you all the power. You just got to have faith, belief, and imagination of all possibilities. But if you get limited if you get lost in the limited possibilities that you think you have or whatever like that, that's just you looking at the universe and you don't have no faith and belief that God is behind you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to peep game. Only thing standing between the universe and God is you. And if you're not being a vessel for God, you're lost in the universe. And last time I checked, when you chase the universe, you're separating yourself from God. But when you chase God, the universe chase you, because the universe trying to figure out why you're not reacting and responding the way you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And it'll play out through people, places, and things in your life that play that tit for tat, that try to cause a reaction and response out of you. That's the universe playing with you, like, and stuff like that. And if you allow it and try to react and be like, okay, I'm an agent now, you allow the universe to run you now in that relationship. Now you chasing the universe around, and it got you hanging, dangling things in front of you like, hey, I'm gonna be a better person, just come a little closer over here. Hey, I'm gonna be a better person if you just cook better. I'm gonna be a better person if you just work harder. I'm gonna be a better person if you just do the shadow government stuff. I'm gonna be a better person if you just preach about AI better. And you're gonna be chasing the universe and be wanting the things that God could give you, this like it's nothing. Key word, nothing. What is you chasing? All of these sums of things. That's the universe. You're losing God. When you chase God, nothing, the universe chase you. Everything that you was thinking is something that you wanted, chase you. Because you're chasing nothing but God, the ability, something a person can't fathom. So when you develop that ability and then you bring it down here, the universe be chasing that thing. They like, what is that? You got something that I can't convince you to chase me about. You know what I'm saying? What is that? And now you got the universe chasing you. And everything in the universe, what I said, that's part of the universe. So if money is one of them, that look like that's something going to be chasing you. See what I'm saying? If love is one of them, that look like that's going to be something chasing you. If business is one of them, that look like that's going to be something chasing you. You know what I'm saying? If career is one of them, that look like that's going to be something chasing you. Guess what position God put you in? You ain't got to look lost because you ain't got to look for nothing. And you ain't got to go find nothing because you ain't looking. Because you know what? You already got it. It's right in front of you. I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Real stuff. See, a lot of y'all, when I start to hit the road wherever I'm at in this thingity thing, and I'm going live tomorrow too also, you know what I'm saying, because I'm going to be bored while I ain't got my whip until I got to go pick it up. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. We're going to stay spiritually connected and stuff like that, and we're going ratchet tomorrow in the morning. They're going to ratchet tomorrow. You know, this is the peaceful PBS channel. We don't give a lot of energy to trolls or nothing. We give it straight to God and how we can persevere to the future, being our new selves. Make sure you know your new self. No fart cloud retrogrades and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And anybody that you've been connected with for the past 3 years and stuff like that, cherish these individuals, because these individuals is the individuals that have been awakening up with you and things of that nature. So these is the only options at the moment as far as building a business, a love interest, or whatever like that. The world out there is gone. It's over. And you probably will be able to participate with them as soon as we all get this virtual reality Grand Theft Auto video game and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can still participate, you know what I'm saying? But just know you're not practicing the ritual and spell in your mind. Just like if we go to church on the first Sunday at a Catholic church, on our mind ain't Jesus and the actual blood and flesh of it. On our mind is just some good crackers and orange juice and our good manifestations of liquid gas coming into solid world. You better believe it. And it might be a church we all in. And it'll go no further than that. Subconscious community. Shout out to the whole soul group. Hold on. I don't want to stop it like that. What I'm doing? Oh, okay. This is how you do it.